Hello and very warm welcome at Amish Cycle 5858. I am Amish Cycle. Foreign news have been reported by American, European, Asian, African, Australian news channels and the news agencies. So please, let's go to the headlines.
ABC's World News Tonight, America's most watched newscast. Now streaming same day with all the breaking news of the day on Disney Plus. Most watched, most trusted. Now on Disney Plus every night.
Tonight, we're following new developments in several major stories. The powerful winter storm set to pummel the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic. An armed man shot and killed at the President's Palm Beach resort. And the Miracle on Ice, Part 2. The potentially historic nor'easter. Multiple states have already declared emergencies with 12 to 18 inches of snow on the way. Some places could get 2 feet. More than 40 million Americans are under blizzard warnings. For some, it's the first time in more than a decade. Thousands of flights canceled. Major cities are banning unnecessary travel. New York is sending out teams to bring the homeless indoors. Ginger Z is leading our weather team's coverage. At Mar-a-Lago, where the Secret Service says a man carrying a shotgun and a gas can drove into the secure perimeter overnight. Agents opened fire, killing him when he allegedly raised the gun. This comes after 2 prior attempts on the president's life. What we're learning about the 21-year-old suspect from North Carolina, the search for answers at his family home, and where President Trump was at the time. Pierre Thomas is following it all. What a game! Team USA caps off a record gold rush, the electrifying win in overtime, 46 years to the day after the Miracle on Ice at Lake Placid. Jack Hughes firing home the goal that won it all, and the team honoring a fallen teammate. Also tonight, Mexico's military takes out a top drug lord who was wanted in the U.S., and warning tonight for Americans in Mexico. Confusion at the airports, why the government suspended TSA PreCheck only to reverse course hours later. Plus, the extraordinary medical evacuation of a U.S. sailor, a nuclear sub forced to break from its mission to surface near Greenland, and why it's at the center of new tension between the U.S. and Greenland. Multiple skiers injured in avalanches, the growing danger in the West. And America strong, and Olympic champions' amazing journey to the medal stand.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us on this busy Sunday. I'm Lindsay Davis. A fatal shooting at
ABC iView.
Today, police scoured dense bushland in northwestern Sydney 10 days after grandfather Chris Baxarian was abducted.
He's been taken over 10 days ago, and every day, as I said last time, concerns grow.
DFAT issues a warning to Australian travellers to reconsider trips to Mexico as violence escalates in several cities. Parents frustrated after a national database designed to keep predators out of childcare is delayed by 3 years. And Australia's most successful Winter Games ever concludes to the sounds of opera in Verona. Hello and welcome to ABC News. I'm Catherine Robinson. Police have revealed kidnappers made 2 attempts to burn a stolen car that's believed to be linked to the kidnapping of Sydney grandfather Chris Baxarian. It's been 10 days since the 85-year-old was taken from his North Ryde home in what police believe was a case of mistaken identity. Our reporter Max Tillman has more from Glenorrhea in Sydney's northwest.
It's a grey Toyota Corolla that is now at the centre of this police investigation. New South Wales Police have been here in Glenorrhea, about 45 kilometres northwest of the Sydney CBD, since about 6 p.m. last night. They're particularly focusing on a vacant block and adjoining bushland further down Vesperman Road from where we are now. These investigations have seen the New South Wales Dog Unit, Pole Air, as well as the Riot Squad conducting line searches for hundreds of metres through what has been described as dense bushland. Now, we understand that this particular location came off the back of criminal intelligence that the New South Wales Police were able to ascertain during their raid and their search warrant on another property in Dural, which is about a 15-kilometre drive from where we are now. Police are saying that those two properties are linked. On Friday of last week, we did hear that that property in Dural that police believe has effectively been abandoned for years was used as a makeshift fortress by those alleged kidnappers. In fact, police going further, saying that they were able to ascertain from a video that they say was filmed and distributed by Mr. Bagzarian's kidnappers, they were effectively able to geolocate using that particular video footage to confirm that it was that Dural address that Mr. Bagzarian was held at. But we have now further details, particularly on a grey Toyota Corolla that police say was found burnt out last Tuesday in Westmead in Sydney's West at about 11:30 p.m. It has proved to be what police have described as a significant breakthrough. Let's take a quick listen to what they had to say.
I can also advise that we have some forensic links from that car. That vehicle was not burnt out totally, and we're able to establish some forensic links from items inside that car that we can link back to.
Service shot and killed an armed man who unlawfully entered the perimeter at Mar-a-Lago early this morning, 1:30 this morning. The Associated Press is out with some new details right now. They have named, and we have confirmed the name of the suspect, 21-year-old Austin Tucker Martin. According to the Associated Press in this bulletin that just crossed, he was reported missing by his family a few days ago. Investigators believe he headed south and picked up a shotgun along the way, and they think that because they found a box for the shotgun in his car. The FBI is right now asking people that live near Mar-a-Lago to check their doorbell cameras, check any cameras that they have in their yards, so they can figure out exactly how this guy got into the area. But it is now believed, according to the AP, that he might have piggybacked behind a vehicle entering Mar-a-Lago lawfully when the gate opened. For more on this right now, let's go to Fox News correspondent Lucas Tomlinson. He is at the White House where President Trump was while this all unfolded overnight. Lucas.
Good morning, Peter. President Trump was at the White House this weekend. He was not in Palm Beach where this incident occurred, and the Secret Service says they were assisted by Palm Beach County deputies who assisted in shooting the suspect, as you mentioned, named 21-year-old Austin Martin of North Carolina. That press conference just wrapped up in Palm Beach. It was pretty lengthy. Here are some more details, Peter.
At 1:30 this morning, the security detail detected that a individual had made his way into the inner perimeter of Mar-a-Lago. A deputy and two Secret Service agents on the detail went to that area to investigate. They confronted a white male that was carrying a gas can and a shotgun. He was ordered to drop those two pieces of equipment that he had with him, at which time he put down the gas can, raised the shotgun to a shooting position. At that point in time, the deputy and the two Secret Service agents fired their weapons and neutralized the threat. He is deceased at the scene.
Here's a map showing the north gate of the Mar-a-Lago compound, the winter White House, if you will, a place President Trump visits often during the winter months. The president had been spending the weekend here at the White House where he hosted governors from across the country. Here's a photo the deputy showed showing the shotgun and the gas can used by Austin, again, 21 years old from North Carolina, who was shot and killed when he threatened officers by assuming that shooting position and after he was asked to drop the items. Now, we're told that no Secret Service officers or the Palm Beach County deputies officers were hurt during this incident. The FBI is joining in the investigation. It's worth noting, Peter, that the Secret Service did this one on the House because DHS isn't being funded right now for this partial shutdown.
And Lucas, to your point about the DHS funding, the first White House reaction just came in from Caroline Leavitt. She has posted, in the middle of the night while most Americans were asleep, the United States Secret Service acted quickly and decisively to neutralize a crazy...
This is Sky News, the headlines. The man killed by the Secret Service after entering President Trump's Florida resort has been named as 21-year-old Austin Martin. Police say he was armed.
He put down the gas can, raised the shotgun to a shooting position. At that point in time, the deputy and the two Secret Service agents fired their weapons and neutralized the threat.
Calls made for Andrew Mountbatten Windsor to face parliamentary scrutiny over his links to paedophile Jeffrey Epstein. Mexico's most wanted drug lord El Mencho has been killed in a military operation. Also this morning, the Prince and Princess of Wales joined Hollywood royalty at the 79th British Academy Film Awards, the first time the couple have appeared in public together since Andrew's arrest. And Team GB matched their best ever medals total at the Winter Olympics, with Zoe Atkin taking bronze in the halfpipe as the 2026 Games draw to a close. Hello and welcome. A man has been shot dead by US Secret Service agents while trying to break into President Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate. Donald Trump, who survived an assassination attempt in Pennsylvania in 2024, and his wife Melania were at the White House at the time. The US media has identified the dead gunman as 21-year-old Austin Tucker Martin from North Carolina. The sheriff of Palm Beach County said they confronted the suspect, who was carrying a petrol can and a shotgun. He was ordered to drop the equipment, at which point they say he put down the can and raised the weapon to a shooting position. Let's take a listen.
At 1:30 this morning, the security detail detected that an individual had made his way into the inner perimeter of Mar-a-Lago. A deputy and two Secret Service agents on the detail went to that area to investigate. They confronted a white male that was carrying a gas can and a shotgun. He was ordered to drop those two pieces of equipment that he had with him, at which time he put down the gas can, raised the shotgun to a shooting position. At that point in time, the deputy and the two Secret Service agents fired their weapons and neutralized the threat.
Paul Eckhoff, a former Secret Service agent who worked for Donald Trump, Barack Obama and George.
This is Asia Now.
Hello, good afternoon. It's 12 p.m. in Singapore and Hong Kong, 9:30 a.m. in New Delhi, and 11 o'clock in Jakarta. I'm Yasmin Yonkers at this hour. Asian economies on edge after another twist in Donald Trump's tariff saga. The U.S. president resets global levies to 15% after his Supreme Court defeat. South Korea and Australia weighing their options, while India reportedly delays upcoming trade talks. China gears up for its most important political gathering, the two sessions. The economy and new five-year plan, and foreign policy also in focus. And protests in the Philippines as the International Criminal Court begins a hearing against former President Rodrigo Duterte. The court will determine whether he will stand trial for crimes against humanity linked to his deadly drug war.
The news.
Sudan's paramilitary Rapid Support Forces claims to have captured another town in its ongoing war with the army. It posted a message on social media, accompanied by video footage showing armed men celebrating beneath the banner reading District of Altina. But several media are reporting the military and saying they repelled Saturday's attack on the strategic town near the border with Chad in North Darfur state. The war between the RSF and the Sudanese army began nearly 3 years ago and has spiraled into one of the world's worst humanitarian crises. Since the RSF captured North Darfur's capital Al-Fashir in October, the paramilitary group has carried out several operations near the Chad border. Of Sudan's 18 states, the RSF controls the 5 Darfur states in the west, except for parts of North Darfur that remain under army control. It's the last alarm bell before the catastrophe. The World Food Programme warned on Friday that it would have to halt its assistance to Somalia as soon as April if it did not receive new funding. Somalia is severely affected by a hunger crisis. Around 4.4 million people face severe food insecurity, and that number could be growing drastically soon. The United States stopped aid to Somalia in early January over reports of theft and government interference, following the destruction of a US-funded World Food Programme warehouse in Mogadishu. And while aid resumed at the end of the month, many UN agencies like the World Food Programme battle a severe lack of funding for humanitarian aid. In Somalia, the World Food Programme already reduced the number of people receiving food aid from 2.2 million in early 2025 to just over 600,000 today.
The U.S. Supreme Court struck down President Donald Trump's far-reaching global tariffs on Friday, handing him a stinging loss that sparked a furious attack on the country health chef Don Wagner, owner and lead chocolatier at Daily Chocolate, said this was good news to her business.
Almost 70% of chocolate comes from West Africa. Ghana is a huge producer, as well as the Ivory Coast, and then also chocolate from its origins in Central America. I am relying on it being imported. So the tariffs have definitely affected me.
Tariffs were the first major piece of Trump's broad agenda to come squarely before the Supreme Court for a final ruling after lower courts had also sided against the president.
I was excited to hear the decision come down. I wish anything would go through the right channels and through Congress and all the way it's supposed to.
Africa News. The news.
As the breakaway region of Somaliland continues to seek international recognition, it says it's willing to give the United States access to its minerals and military bases. In December, Israel became the first and only country to recognize Somaliland's independence since it declared its autonomy from Somalia in 1991. Officials say their natural resources include lithium, coltan, and other sought-after materials, although independent confirmation is lacking.
Our friends, if it's Israel or the United States, explore the potential of minerals that we have, particularly the rare earth and the strategic minerals, in which we know are becoming very important for the United States. And as the president said, we are willing to give exclusive also to the United States. Also, we are open to offer military bases to the United States, and we believe that we will agree on something with the United States.
Mogadishu, which considers the region part of Somalia, has denounced Israel's recognition as an attack on its territorial integrity, a position backed by most African and Arab leaders.
Basically, Israel has recognized Somaliland, and two countries which recognize each other have the potential to agree on a number of strategic issues. But this recognition and relationship between Somaliland and Israel is not shaped by military or security. It's shaped by the fact that Israel has recognized an existing state.
Analysts suggest Israel recognized Somaliland because of its strategic location across the Gulf of Aden from Yemen, where Houthi rebels have often attacked Israeli assets in solidarity with Palestinians. Sudan's paramilitary Rapid Support Forces commander Mohammed Hamdan Dagalo arriving in State House in the Ugandan city of Entebbe on Friday. He met with Uganda's president.
Breaking news this Sunday night, mayhem in Mexico. Thousands of Canadian tourists are ordered to take shelter.
So there's thick smoke lingering in the air, and it's a bit of an eerie feeling.
As violence erupts after the killing of Mexico's most wanted man, Mar-a-Lago shooting. How the Secret Service intercepted a suspect at the president's Florida estate. A memorial in Tumbler Ridge canceled after the victims' families received threats.
It's extremely tragic that these families are being victimized again.
Plus, hockey heartbreak.
We all want to go home, but look, they were the strongest team.
The Winter Games end in disappointment on the ice, but still plenty of pride for Team Canada's Olympic run.
Global National. Reporting tonight, Jeff Semple.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. We begin with breaking news. Canadians in and around Puerto Vallarta in Mexico are being ordered to shelter in place tonight as violence escalates across the region. Fires, explosions, and gunfire are being reported across the popular tourist destination. The Mexican government says roadblocks with burning vehicles have been set up by armed groups, clashing with federal authorities. The violence comes after Mexico's most wanted man, cartel leader Nemesio Ceguera Cervantes, also known as El Mencho, was killed in a military operation. The airport was shut down, flights suspended. Locals and tourists alike are now stuck inside and taking shelter, including thousands of Canadians.
Behind our unit, you could see multiple areas of smoke, and it looks like a war zone.
Everybody's been ordered in the entire city to stay indoors, so there's literally nobody on the streets. And you can see a little bit of smoke behind me. There were several dozen car bombs, if you will, or cars set on fire in the city in the last 3 hours. And it's a bit of an eerie feeling given the tourist city that it is.
It's just very quiet here. It's a weird feeling because Sunday here is Sunday Fun Day. It's a busy time. The beaches are full. People are having a good time on Sundays, and not today.
Air Canada West.
Hello and welcome to Night Watch on France 24. I'm Charlotte Hughes, and here are our top stories at this hour. US and Canadian airlines cancel dozens of flights to Mexico following the killing of the country's most wanted man, cartel leader El Mencho, in a military operation. The US State Department has urged American citizens in the country to shelter. New York City is among the US locations to announce travel bans, and thousands of flights are cancelled as a major winter storm bears down on the northeast of the United States. Meteorologists have predicted that 1 to 2 feet of snow could fall in some areas. And the twin Milan and Cortina cauldrons are extinguished, marking an end to the 2026 Winter Olympics. During a vibrant closing ceremony in Verona, the International Olympic Committee president hailed this year's Games as setting, I quote, a very high standard for the future. We begin this bulletin in Mexico, where the killing of the country's most wanted man has prompted US and Canadian airlines to cancel dozens of flights to the country. The leader
This is DW News live from Berlin. The Mexican army says it has killed one of North America's most wanted drug cartel bosses. The death of El Mencho sets off a wave of violence, with gang members targeting vacation spots, torching vehicles and spreading fear across the country. A diplomatic face-off between Washington and Tehran as new anti-regime demonstrations erupt on Iranian university campuses, and American warships converge on the region.
Thank you for watching. I'm Shakil 5858. I hope you will come again. Have a good life. Bye-bye.